Good evening. Welcome to the Infowars Nightly News Home Version. I'm DLAKE for PREZ. It's July 18th, 2012. Here in my news station on my personal computer, I have Infowars.com and the Drudge Report open in two separate tabs. At Infowars.com there is a headline: reading Infowars.com may cause mental illness. I could be in big trouble. I'm concerned about my mental condition. I don't want mental illness, that's for sure. I better read this article. Since I frequently read Infowars.com, I could be in danger. Researchers in Sweden have concluded that too much time spent on a computer can lead to mental illness. Oh yeah, I read this. The study of 4,100 Swedish men and women between the ages of 20 and 24 over the period of a year found that most who consistently use a computer and mobile phones can develop stress, sleeping disorders, and depression. CBS News in Charlotte reports. Doing anything too much can cause all those things. Let's get that straight first. But I read this article yesterday. I clicked to the CBS News report from a link on Drudge, okay? I could go check and see if it's still there. Or the other articles that I clicked on yesterday. High quantitative use was the central link between computer use and stress, sleep disturbances, and depression, described by the young adults, said Sarah Tomey, lead author of this study. Well, I'm glad Sarah Tomey found her results there. Wow. We kept you 20 to 24-year-olds in Sweden here on this computer for over a year. We studied you and monitored you. Some of you had some sleep disturbances and some stress. Okay, well, name a job position that has no stress. I'd like to work there. It was easy to spend more time than planned at the computer, working, gaming, or chatting. Well, if you're good at any of those things, you probably spend some more time than the average person. And this tended to lead to time pressure. Oh, neglect of other activities and personal needs, such as social interaction, sleep, physical activity. Yeah, we need to work out more, pay more attention to our loved ones, get more sleep, eat better, and all that. But it's going to lead to bad ergonomics and mental overload. Once that starts happening, the gears start turning the opposite way, and your brain, smoke starts coming out of your ears, and you're in real bad shape. You're mentally disturbed. Speaking of mental overload, the Soros-funded operation ThinkProgress has determined that Matt Drudge's popular website is responsible for causing an overload of conspiracy theories by linking to Infowars.com. Listen here, pal. We're thinking about progress. Well, what are you progressing towards if you don't seem to like Infowars, pal? Because there's a war on for your mind. And I see right through anything you're gonna put out, ThinkProgress. Anything. Listen here. I already read this Swedish research report yesterday. I clicked to it from Drudge Report. I was all over Infowars and I put out a special report last night, like I've been doing 7 days a week for the past 4 months. I was in the reporter contest and I still haven't shaved. And Christy Hightower on Planet Infowars says, ha ha ha, I like your style, D. I want to be your friend, DLAKE. So ask Alex. Alex, is Christy Hightower single or what? That's my question. You can't post a video on Ask Alex though, because they don't have enough time to watch them. But I'll post this in the video section and see if I can't get an answer. And you can hire me to be a reporter. You just hired a bunch of graphics guys? You could have got the all-in-one package right here, Alex Jones. But you like the one-shots. The one-shots. Yeah, take a look at your top 10. then take the Pepsi challenge with all those guys versus me. I'll give some credit where it's due to Dan by Dondi. I think I previously said his name wrong and I apologize for the mispronunciation. Dan by Dondi. Alright? He's bionic and he's on YouTube, and go check out his videos because he's still doing his thing. And Kyle Phillips is still out there doing his thing. And he teamed up with Anthony Court and they're doing their thing. Daniel Foret, he's out of the game. And these one-shots, I call them one-shots because 3 months ago they put out one video. And now they got like a couple thousand and they're doing really great. And you want to offer them a job. Hey, what's your first question going to be? What have you been doing the past 3 months since you put out that one video? You won't have to ask that question with me. So I really hope this 48-hour money bomb blows up. We make a lot of money for Infowars.com. And I hope I'm not mentally sick in the head. I hope this doesn't sound nuts or too crazy. A ThinkProgress study of the Drudge Report reveals the popular internet aggregator has linked 184 times to Infowars and WorldNet Daily, 2 sites that promote the internet's worst conspiracy theories. Really? Do you have any links to any examples? What would be your idea of the worst conspiracy theory? What's the best? What's the worst? I'd really like to know how you're thinking and what you're thinking about ThinkProgress, because I think you're thinking garbage. I think you have a mental illness, and you're thinking about all the wrong things. Hey, we got to get on here and count how many times they link to Infowars and WorldNet Daily. Oh, WorldNet Daily, huh? WND, Jerome Corsi. That guy who's sort of affiliated and kind of helps and works with Sheriff Joe Arpaio and posse there. Down there in Maricopa County, right? And they just put out their special report last night. And in fact, I watched it on WND. Come to think of it, I got there from YouTube. How many times is Drudge linked to YouTube? I've already talked about Drudge. I've already explained to you that all Drudge is a big giant octopus. It snatches and grabs links from everywhere. And Soros obviously wants them to only use one arm and just snatch from them and do this, instead of snatching from everywhere, so that we can try to gain perspective as the audience of Drudge. And it's so popular and so huge and so giant and magnificent on Alexa, if you go check that. Alex was just talking about that today. And he's taking the Pepsi challenge with MSNBC and all those other news punks. And yesterday, the very first question, the very first reporter question from the reporters that showed up to hear Sheriff Joe Arpaio and the posse and Mike Zullo speak, was his first question. I understand that you're working with people that love conspiracy theories, and these guys will wrap their arms around any conspiracy theory. And how much money do you make off your book, Mike Zullo? Those are the real questions we want to know after this hour-long presentation about how fake-ass the birth certificate is, and how that number 9 is a big giant symbol that is just another... That's so far down the line. I mean, okay, it got bumped up yesterday in the line of important information that proves it's fake, false, and fraudulent. A failure. And that's what it is. Me and about 1 million or so people or more knew that last year. Maybe we didn't know the 9 meant what you found out. Dr. Corsi at WND. But Aviva Shen probably wants to know how much money Infowars and WorldNet Daily are making. I'm sure if they could get their eyes on those tax reports like Mitt Romney, they're going to call the IRS and the DHS and the FBI and the CIA and the KKK and the Russian spies, and everyone's going to be involved. This feeds right into the establishment media's assertion that conspiracy theorists are mentally ill. Or at best delusional. Delusional is the best I can get. If it's the best, I'm striving to be delusional in your guys' crazy world.